Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Hi guys, welcome back. I am going to be doing an eyebrow tutorial today. So if you guys want to watch and see how I got the eyebrows that are on my face right now, stay tuned. So the first thing I do when I do my eyebrows is comb them or brush them with a spoolie brush. So I personally like to brush my eyebrows up because when I go to apply the product, the brush or the pencil, whatever I am using, automatically like brush the hairs down anyway. So I just brush them up to get that natural shape going on. Then I fill them in with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I'm in the color Espresso. It's a really good dupe for the Anastasia brow pencil, and quite frankly, I kind of like it better than the Anastasia brow pencil. And I know that's like really taboo to say because everybody loves Anastasia. I mean, she's amazing when it comes to brows. But I don't know. I think the NYX goes on smoother or something, or maybe I just got a bad batch when I got Anastasia. But I felt like hers was more stiff and it just didn't glide on my hairs as smoothly as the NYX brush or brow pencil. I'm sorry. Anyways, so here I'm just going to fill in. I will admit I don't really do much to my brows. I focus on filling them in at the arch and go down to the tail. I don't really do anything to the front part of the brow. But I mean, my brows are pretty thick. Thank the Lord. So I don't have to do much. But I just fill in the areas that are kind of sparse, which my tail is just really sparse. I want to grow that out more, but that's pretty much it. I just fill it in and then I go back with the spoolie brush to make sure it is blended as much as possible. And then, depending on what look I'm going for, I either will apply the NYX Eyebrow Gel or just leave it like this. The NYX Eyebrow Gel is pretty great if you are really trying to be snatched that night because it will not move and it is waterproof. So you're going to be struggling getting that bad boy off unless you use oil. But just to show the difference, this is it with just the pencil. And I'm going to go ahead and fill in how I would use the gel. So again, I pretty much just focus the product on the tail of the brow and the arch. So I pretty much use flat brushes to really be able to be precise. Now, I wouldn't use this gel for an everyday look. I feel like it's a bit more dramatic. I guess because it's so dark that me personally, if it was going to be everyday look, I would have just stopped at the pencil. But this is it with the gel. Like I said, I only focus on the arch to the tail. I then again go back in with the spoolie and I just brush it through, pretty much make sure all my hairs are in place. And then that's pretty much it with the filling in part. So then I like to take my concealer, put that on the brush, and again, put that on my arch, or underneath the arch and the tail. pretty much just focus it here. I don't like to come all the way here. To me, it just doesn't look as natural. I also like to put some concealer at the top of my brow. Pretty much when I have used all the concealer on my brush, I then like to go at the top, again, right above the arch to the tail is where I'm focusing the concealer. I like to only use a little bit of product here because I really don't like the halo effect that it gives if you don't really blend all the way. And even if I do blend like crazy, sometimes I still get that halo effect and I really don't prefer it. So that's why I like to make sure I go on with as little product as possible anyway, but enough to make it obvious that you carved it out. Once I have applied all the concealer, I then like to blend. I typically just use my finger just to blend it in better. I will say that brows are the first thing I do, so I'm not really doing but so much blending because when I go in with the foundation and everything else, I kind of make sure the foundation blends into it, or vice versa. So anyways, after that, the last thing I do is I use a clear brow gel to just apply to the part of my brow that doesn't have any product. Give that some loving. And that is it. That is all I do. I know it's not very exciting, but that's it. I'm just gonna go ahead and do my other brow, and that's it. So I decided to just do this brow with just the pencil, and then the other brow with the pencil and the gel, so you can see the difference. As you can see, this one is a bit more dramatic. It's just darker. It's just kind of more fresh, I guess. And this one is more natural, I think. But overall, it's really not that much of a difference. I could probably get away with just walking outside like this and nobody would even be able to tell, but me, just because I'm anal. But I will say that I do have a couple of tips when you're doing your brows, and that is, number one, it's always better to do your brows on freshly groomed brows, especially concealer wise. It's not really doing as much work if your brows are pretty much arched to begin with. And number two, take your time. Take your time. Eyebrows frame your face. You don't want to be looking crazy out here in these streets because your brows are looking crazy. So just take your time. It's not a rush. It shouldn't be a rushed effort. So yeah, as you can see, it took me like 2 minutes to do mine a piece, if that. Well guys, that was it. That concludes this video. I hope you learned something. Stay tuned for the next one.